So, Caitlin Clark, obviously one of the best rookies, if not the best rookie in the WNBA this year. And Lexi Brown had been I'm not going to lie, prior to Lexi Brown, or to Caitlin Clark setting foot in the league, on Gilbert Arenas' show, Lexi Brown was known as like a Caitlin Clark hater. That's what people thought. People thought that she was not a believer in Caitlin Clark and that she really was just not a fan. But recently, what she said today was a bit of a shock to anyone who, well, has been following kind of Lexi Brown, her thoughts on, especially on Gilbert Arenas' show. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are only 60 off 17,000 subscribers. But listen to what she said about the Rookie of the Year race. And let's take a listen.
Caitlin.
Obviously, this is Rashard McCants, not her.
And there's no shade to Angel. It's just what Caitlin has to face on a nightly basis of like them trying to stop
Number
her.
one on scattering reports.
Like they like
yes.
you like
that is the biggest thing, because as far as I'm aware, like Lexi Brown, if I'm not mistaken, the first time they played the Sparks, I'm pretty sure Lexi Brown started on Caitlin Clark. I could be wrong with that one. But I think Lexi Brown might have started that game. I think she might have started that game at the very start of the year when the Fever did go and beat the Sparks. So I think she definitely started the second one. But Lexi Brown played 38 minutes. She played 38 minutes in this game. I know she only had 5 points. But this was the game where Caitlin Clark hit the two 30-footers to win the game. So it does seem like she's someone who would know who's top of the scouting report.
she can't get equal opportunity as everyone else because then she would average. I think she would average 20. You're not topper. They're not assigned. You pick your poison.
But again, that's still all very hard to do. It's energy, it's effort.
Yes.
Obviously, not everybody is doing it or is capable of doing it. But yeah, like you said,
but
top of the scouting report.
Caitlin's passing, like you said.
Yeah, Lexi Brown has come out here and said, has basically admitted it, that Caitlin Clark is on the top of team scouting reports. And I don't necessarily think, I think now people are scouting a little bit more for Angel Reese than they did, but it is one of those things where very clearly one is the much better offensive player. I've actually heard people try to argue Angel Reese is a better offensive player than Caitlin Clark and use like offensive ratings. No, Caitlin Clark is the offense for her team. Like, I think someone told me like Caitlin Clark is like 5th on offensive rating for the Fever, and I'm like, no, she is the offense. When Caitlin Clark is not on the floor, I don't know what the hell is going on, but she is the offense. But this is a very, very interesting one, obviously. But it does just show, obviously, Lexi Brown is somebody who was not a believer in Caitlin Clark before she set foot in the WNBA, has guarded her twice, came up against her twice. The second time she played against them, Caitlin Clark at 30. And now, obviously, she has Caitlin Clark picked as Rookie of the Year. And genuinely, her reasoning is probably some of the most sound reasoning. And it puts to bed all the BS arguments that if you're one side or the other, it's purely based on what the player represents or what the player looks like. When in reality, if you value a elite at what they do, rebounder, hustle player who will will their way to 15 points and lead the league in rebounds. And like, look, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Angel Reese is the best rebounder in the WNBA. She's the best rebounder, especially in the offensive end. But with Caitlin Clark, you've got the best floor general in the league. You got someone who can lead an offense with maybe not as much talent as another team and turn it into one of the best offenses in the league. Whereas Angel Reese does not have much of an offensive game. Like, I think you're lying to yourself if you're saying that Angel Reese has game. But again, if she gets that in 2 or 3 years down the line, she's going to be unguardable. But at the same time with Caitlin Clark is not the worst perimeter defender, but she's bad enough that you have to hide her on defense. She's bad enough that you can exploit her. The problem is that the Fever's current starting 5 has 4 people that can be exploited on defense. And in fact, Now, with the starting line they ran against the Aces, Caitlin Clark was their second best defender, which is scary. Which is scary how bad that is, considering Caitlin Clark can't really play defense. So, Lexi Brown is right. If you want to say who is the better offensive player, I've genuinely seen people use weird advanced analytics to say she's not even a good offensive player. No, Caitlin Clark is the scouting report. She is the scouting report. She is the Fever's offense. There's no two ways about it. If Caitlin Clark is having a bad game, the Fever suck. If Caitlin Clark is playing well, the Fever are good. There is only like very few situations where Caitlin Clark can have a bad game and the Fever win, and it is when the other team does not have anyone that can guard Aaliyah Boston. Like Aaliyah Boston bullying Tina Charles that one time, and Tina Charles got hers back the second time they played. But there was that game. There was... I'm trying to think of what games Caitlin Clark struggled and they've won. To be fair, the Sparks did not have much. I think Aaliyah Boston 70.5 against the Sparks. So the Sparks didn't have much inside presence. When playing against any sort of a team with inside presence, they go where Caitlin Clark goes. They go where she goes. And it's very clear from the scouting report, it's very clear from what Lexi Brown had said, that, look, she is the worry. And this is a Sparks team that, in fairness, the Sparks lost, I think. I think the Sparks lost. Did they to the Sky? But, yeah, it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see which of the Sky or the Fever finish better this season. I think the Fever are the better team, but I think the best player right now on either team with the way they're playing is Kennedy Carter. If I was to rank like the players 1 through 5, it would go like Kennedy Carter 1, Caitlin Clark 2, Angel Reese 3, Aaliyah Boston 4, and Kelsey Mitchell probably 5. So yeah, Fever probably do have 3 of the best 5 players, but these two teams are very, very, very evenly matched, and also there's a big coaching difference in Teresa Weatherspoon's 100 times better than Christy Snides. So anyway, that is the video. Obviously, Lexi Brown is somebody who was not a believer, and after playing Caitlin Clark, it's like, okay, yeah, she's the real deal. Which is, it's always good to see people admitting that and not just sticking as Caitlin Clark haters. Like, plenty of people. There are plenty of people that were Caitlin Clark, or vice versa, or Angel Reese haters, that have just stuck with disliking them or saying they suck as players. Like, I was one of the people that did not think Angel Reese was going to be that good in the WNBA. I thought she was going to be better than people thought. I thought like 7-7. I thought 7-7 would be a really good rookie year for her. 7-7, like 3rd or 4th in rookie of the year voting. I thought that was going to be a really good rookie year for Reese. She proved me wrong, and she proved the vast majority. I think there were very few people that knew anything about women's basketball that would have thought Angel Reese was going to be this good. But she's obviously completely destroyed any expectations. I think the fact Caitlin Clark is living up to expectations, and these WNBA players are seeing how good she is as a player, is a good sign as well. Look, the toxicity around all of this is going to go very soon. And again, we saw it. A lot of the people that have been using the WNBA to push an agenda. The presidential debate just happened. They're just going to talk about that rather than use the WNBA to just push agendas. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.